I don't even remember the last time that we've been chatting over the years through Facebook, but I haven't seen you, I think, since like graduation. So what has been going on? Give me the timeline.
Well, I think a lot's been going on. Like everybody, you know, I tried to work for people. Of course, for a while, did the corporate America things, but I found out that it was not my thing, and mostly it was not my passion. So it's easy to, you can make money, but at the end of the day, if it's not fulfilling you, it's not worth doing. So you know that I did personal training for a long time, because obviously that was my passion. I would have done it for free. Actually, for many years, I created a personal training business, worked for company, a real estate company that owned gym. So I managed their personal training, and I had my business in their business basically for years. Great money maker. But eventually I decided to switch a little bit. Accidentally I found ergonomics, which to me is very close and tied to fitness. So I decided to jump in that. So it became my passion. That became my passion as well. So I would say for the last few years, I own a ergonomic consulting business, doing ergonomic consulting for businesses, individuals. But you know, again, as it ties to fitness, it gives me a little edge because ergonomic is movement. We're talking about movement today. So it allowed me to basically mix both. So ergonomic and wellness in both. Most ergonomics that you meet, they just have that background in knowing how to tell you how to sit in your chair, or you know, how to use your table, but they don't necessarily know everything that relates to stretching, everything that relates to wellness. So that gives me a little edge and makes my job more interesting. That's it. The boring 10 years, but interesting 10 years.
So I think that's really interesting so when we come into this industry, I think we all become this generalist, and then we're all like, I'm going to be an expert at everything.
Yeah.
And then we quickly realize like that doesn't work, and then find a niche that we're incredibly passionate about. So this is, watching that progression for you is really interesting. And doing the ergonomics, excuse me, I'm more interested to hear what that means and how that impacts the individual. And of course, as you say that, I'm looking at my position in space right now, and I'm like, oof. I probably should be I feel like I should and I'm kind of fairly optimized. I think, no, feet are not on the floor. I have my feet up right now because, So tell me, explain it to me, because I only know, I guess, what the common person would know about ergonomics. So explain that to me. What is that? And then what does that look like for your business? How do you help?
So ergonomics, if you define it, I'm just going to give you the basic definition, is making your workspace, wherever you work, fit you and not the other way around. So some people are tall, some people are short, some people are stocky, some people have back issues, some people have a limitation that don't allow them to do a lot of things. So when you come to an office, you know, usually when let's say you get a job, you come in, they say, this is your desk, this is your table, good luck. So as a certified somebody who works into ergonomics, what happens is when you come in and we give you a table and a chair, we teach you how to not only use what you got, but to also optimize it so that you are comfortable at work. Most of these companies, what they don't understand, a lot of them are starting to understand it, is that an employee that's comfortable at work is a happier employee, and a happier employee is an employee that's a little bit more more productive. So that's it. So that is the definition of ergonomics. You will see a lot of people a lot of chairs are marked as ergonomic chairs, and you know, a lot of things. People throw that sauce everywhere, not necessarily understanding what it means. But it's very simple. Ergonomics is movement. Is moving based on your biochemical individuality, moving based on who you are.
That's fantastic that you say that, because I remember as in one of the jobs that I had working for the man, I was just given that a desk that was not fit for me, a chair that was not fit for me. The angle and the way everything was set up was not fit, that I ended up developing shoulder pain.
Oh yeah.
In a very, very short time. And when I asked to, hey, I need something, this isn't working, this is hurting me, it was brushed off. So I had to be creative in, okay, how am I going to make this work? I mean, my desk was super tall. It was really, really high. And I'm 5'1". So
And you're very
I had,
tall, very tall. So
yeah, I'm super tall,
yeah.
super tall. So I had to bring the chair up all the way. I had a box underneath so that I could rest my feet on. Otherwise, they would dangle, or I would tuck one under. How did you get started with this niche?
I think it was an accident. You know, they say when you make plans, nothing that I wanted to do in life. Just I went to school for business. It was by accident. I happened to accidentally go to like a seminar, and I saw somebody who was there who talked about it, and automatically, you know, it's almost like a light bulb came in my head, and I was like, that's interesting. It ties very well to what I'm doing. I want to learn about it. So I just learned about it a little bit, and then I was like, most people don't know or don't care. As you say, if you go to a company, one of the ways that I do assessments when I deal with a company is I come in and I tell them, don't tell your employees who I am. So I walk around the office and I'll try to see what they call red flag. If I see somebody who's take stacks of paper and then put their monitors on top of it, I'm like, okay, this person needs an ergonomic assessment. They might need help. If I come in and I see that you have the trash can under your desk and you have your feet rested, that is to be a sign that you are trying to be comfortable. And by trying to be comfortable, that tell me that you are not being comfortable. You are not comfortable. So if I walk around the office and I look at people's desks, and it's old desks, everybody's, you know, they didn't make no effort to change the chairs. They have kitchen chairs there or random chairs that are not adjustable. Yeah. I say to myself, there's people that have been working in the office for 10 or 15 years or even 5 years, that's been sitting 8 hours a day for all this time. This movement, if we're talking about movement, these people, guarantee you 90% of these people have back issues, neck issues, pain issues. Sometimes they don't even know what it is, and all they have to do is maybe stand a little bit during that day, during that work day to feel better. So that's it. I know I went a little bit further than how did I get in the niche, but it's through accident and then observation, and then it became my passion, as I call it now. You know, I'll do this for now.
That transition, it actually works seamlessly, because that would be the next thing that I would ask you is, how does the workstation translate into pain and discomfort and, you know, improper movement patterns or inefficient movement patterns that people develop? So if you want to talk about that, I'd be really interested to see your findings on that.
So stagnation leads to imbalance. Any kind of stagnation. If you lay on a couch for forever, a certain part of your body won't move the right way. If you sleep forever, your body won't respond. A certain part of your body won't respond optimally. Same thing with sitting. They call sitting the new, what do they call it? Yeah. That's it. They call it, it's the new smoking. Because it becomes, when you sit for long periods of time, there's parts of your body, especially your, they call it the lumbopelvic hip complex, which is your lumbar, your pelvis, and your hip gets very, very tight. And that tightness can lead to chronic disease. So that's what it is. So sitting for a long period of time has been known and proven to cause chronic pain, chronic disease. So a way to alleviate that and the remedy to that is movement and to change change habits, gradually change habits, just as if you would do like anything, eating or fitness. So changing the way you move, changing the way you sit throughout the day, understanding what works for you. Some people like to lean, some people like to sit a little sit straight forward. Understanding that makes you adjust it accordingly and find what works for you. And at the end of the day, that's what it is. You get a tool and you make it work for you. You and me can both get the same chair, but we're going to adjust it differently, and it's going to work differently for both.
So when you discuss this with your clients, is it a function of, okay, now we have to go out and buy all of this, I don't want to say equipment, but all of these tools and desks and these things to help optimize the workspace? Or how do you go about that once you find these red flags?
That is a great question, because usually I see that 90% of the time. I come to an office, Kendra is sitting right here, Alassane is sitting right here. Alassane has a chair stool, and then Kendra doesn't. But Kendra looks at it and automatically thinks that she needs it, when sometimes she doesn't need it. And that's what it is. So it's not necessarily about buying the equipment. It's about seeing if it is a necessity. And I conduct, just as you would do in fitness, you do an assessment. And an assessment is a process when you ask these individual questions that are specific to who they are, the job that they do, their past, their hobbies, their medical history. Sometimes if you do it remotely through Zoom or any other platform, you get pictures of their workspace, because a lot of people work from home, especially right now.
Yeah.
And you try to adjust it accordingly. Now, ergonomics is not only chairs or table. Your lighting right there is ergonomics too, because if your lighting is not done the right way, your eyes are looking at the screen for long periods of time, your eyes get tired. So the eyes, as much as your legs and your back, your hips, everything needs to rest. So that's why ergonomics is so complete. It's a full science that revolves around the body.
So something that you mentioned that is super important and relevant right now is you just said that people are working from home. So what tips can you provide people that are now not in a space that they're used to being in? It's not designed for work. And let's be honest, some people are on their couch right now, plugging away with maybe, a table. So what can you, actionable steps that people can take?
Yeah, signs of the times. And a lot of people are working from home, not by choice. If you have a choice to work from home, you naturally design your space to work for you. Most people from one day to another were told, you know what, from now on you work from home, that's it. A lot of people didn't have time to adjust their setup. And a lot of people, honestly just don't know. So I'm doing a webinar on Monday on this topic, because I actually posted it recently, and I had a lot of good feedback from a lot of people that work in corporate America. So I have, I think, 5 tips that I give people. Pretty simple.